China and Japan are both important countries in Asia, and their healthy ties bear great significance to regional stability and development. 50 years after the normalization of diplomatic ties between the two countries, bilateral relations have once again come to a crossroads. In recent months, Tokyo is actively cooperating with Washington's strategy to contain China, acting as a paw of the U.S. in the latter's geopolitical games in the Asia-Pacific. Following the U.S. step, Japan is hyping up the so-called China threat, actively advocating the U.S. proposed Indo-Pacific Economic Framework or IPEF and the Quad mechanism. Japan even uses this as an excuse to boost its own military strength. Is China a real threat? History has told the truth clearly enough. With the signing of the China-Japan Treaty of Peace and Friendship in 1978, Japan actively participated in China's reform and opening up, which brought huge benefits to both sides. In the 1980s, when Japan became economically pretty strong, the U.S., wary of any potential challenger to its supremacy, sanctioned all areas of its life, including goods, cultural exports, and energy supply. As the result, Japan lost decades of development momentum, but the economic ties between China and Japan kept strengthening. In 2004, China became Japan's top trading partner for the first time. Japan should view China's development with a more positive mentality. When Japan's Upper House of Parliament approved the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP, in April last year, it must have seen the vast potential of the world's largest free trade deal. Under the RCEP, China and Japan will see their bilateral tariff cuts in the form of zero tariff treatment, with taxes on 86% of products from Japan and 88% of products from China eventually down to zero. The world is in dire need of new post-pandemic economic drivers. China and Japan, as the world's second and third largest economies and two major players in the Asia-Pacific region, should adopt cooperative thinking and work more productively for both countries and the region. The U.S. is working to decentralize Asia rather than unite it, and Japan should realize this. Inciting cliques and peddling confrontation only serves the interests of the troublemaker.
Quad, AUKUS, or whatever mechanisms are done, if the whole idea of these mechanisms is to undermine the politics and the military capabilities of other nations, then they are not going to achieve their purposes. Confrontation, continuous war does not lead anywhere.
Countries maintain friendly relations, but also compete with each other. This kind of relationship is healthy. However, some countries still talk about alliance at every turn, designate countries that they are not satisfied with as enemies, and continue to look for opportunities to create conflict and confrontation.
As an old Chinese saying goes, a close neighbor is better than a distant relative. Relations with the U.S. are not the whole point of Japanese diplomacy. It's always more important to maintain strategic autonomy and show vision and wisdom than to woo a false and even destructive relationship. As a member of Asia, Japan should play a responsible role in promoting regional stability and development.